Okay, guys, I'm kind of wondering, does anybody want to hear Jefferson Starship, or does anybody want to hear the Scorpions? Why? Because the winds of change are blowing around football. Yeah. That was a tree. Well, you know what? As I said, the winds have changed. First, Pete Carroll, no longer the head coach for the Seattle Seahawks after 14 years. Oh, he is remaining on as executive vice president as a consultant. But the big ones, Nick Saban, retiring after 16, 17 years at Alabama, and also 6 national titles, and nobody has had a greater run of success than he has at Alabama. He made some stops before, but Alabama was his ultimate destination. Good luck, Coach Saban, in your retirement. But the big one, Bill Belichick, after 24 years of coaching New England and tormenting Buffalo in the process, especially with Tom Brady. He's out as New England's coach. Yes, the winds of change are blowing pretty good, but are we going to hear Craig Giachiso's guitar, or are we going to hear Klaus Meine whistling? It's your choice. The winds of change are blowing really hard. Oh, that was some shingles off of a house. Oh, I digress. Well, we go from talking about the winds of change to talking about Buffalo. They took on a gritty Pittsburgh team, but of course, the better team won. Pittsburgh hung right in there for a while. Mason Rudolph, who doesn't have a red nose, kind of showed his grittiness in that, but Mason Rudolph is nothing special. But Pittsburgh, they hung tough, but Buffalo, through all the snow and everything, in a game that was delayed a day because of a lake effect storm that hit the Orchard Park area, but prevailed 31-17. And there could be a little more snow this weekend, along with Patrick Mahomes, the crybaby, and Kansas City coming to Orchard Park. And Travis Kelce's also going to be coming to Orchard Park. And do you think Taylor Swift is going to be there? How many times is the CBS camera going to focus in on her, celebrating or not celebrating, when Travis Kelce probably gets knocked out of the game? You know what? We got to give her a nice New York welcome, don't we, Bills fans? Get out of here. Of course, that'd be good around New York City, but hey, it'll work in Western New York too. You know what? We're going to show Patrick Mahomes the road doesn't always go through Kansas City when it comes through the playoffs. Let's send Kansas City and the crybaby back there. They're the defending Super Bowl champions, but you know what? After they play us, they're not going to be the new Super Bowl champions. But, of course, if we beat Kansas City, Baltimore might lay ahead. The Ravens, that is, especially if Edgar Allan Poe maybe has something to say about it. But I digress. Lamar Jackson is having an MVP-style year, but we got to ground Baltimore if it's them, or if it's Houston. We got to put C.J. Stroud to say, hey, you may be a rookie, but you know what? You're going to take your lumps a little bit. Going to be an interesting game. We'll see what happens. Let's go, Buffalo! And now I'm going to talk about the Orange. You know, we had a pretty good victory against Boston College. But then we go down to North Carolina. And boy, it kind of showed what a universe they're in. Syracuse, they've got a lot of work to do. Heck, they did hang with Duke for a while before losing by 20. But we were never in the game against North Carolina. That's what I'm going to say. I mean, but if when North Carolina comes up later this season, you know what? We got to play better. We got to show them that, hey, we can hang with the Tar Heels. We aren't just going to roll over and crawl into a ball like we did. We didn't crawl into a ball against Pittsburgh. We swept the season series. And now, on Saturday, it's Jim Larrañaga in Miami who comes to the Dome. You know, for the Jim Boeheim lookalike wannabe, we're going to say, hey, we can beat the Hurricanes. And we're going to send you back to the tailor. Because we don't need no more Jim Boeheim lookalikes, if you know what I mean. Now I'm going to go from talking about them to quickly talking local. Yeah, it's the winds of change have been blowing. But of course, Waterloo kind of showing that, hey, this is a rebuilding year for the girls. It was a good big thing last night with the Minders girls beating them by 2. Been a while since Minders beat Waterloo in girls basketball. It kind of shows the work that Mike Bree has to do. He's one of the best when it comes to youth basketball in Waterloo. And he knows he doesn't have a lot of depth, and he's got a young team. This is definitely a rebuilding year for Waterloo. It kind of showed. Good luck the rest of the season. Good luck to Minders. And also the Minders boys with a pretty good victory against the Waterloo boys in Waterloo's gym. You know, they say the winds of change are blowing. I mean, not only in the pros, but high school. We'll see when the winds can calm down. We'll see the rest of the season. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Syracuse. I'm Ken Haas, and that's my story for this week.